There are several mistakes that you want to avoid with your personal injury lawsuit. Before I go each one of these in detail, I'm going to kind of just list them for you so that we know what they are, and then we're going to explain them in more detail. The first one is that you want to avoid signing paperwork or any waivers before you hire an attorney. 2, you want to avoid talking about your lawsuit to others. 3, you want to make sure that you don't exaggerate or diminish any pre-existing conditions. 4, you want to make sure you don't engage in social media after your accident. 5, you want to make sure that you attend your medical appointments. And 6, you want to make sure that you document your injuries with photographs after the accident. The first one I want to go over with you is signing paperwork. Insurance companies will often talk to a person after an accident and make them an offer. This offer usually is not very good. It's usually making the person give up their rights, their future medical treatment, or making them settle the case for a very small amount. Before you do this, you really need to hire an attorney, or at the very least go talk to an attorney to make sure you're doing the right thing and that you're not getting a bad deal, which you probably are if you're going to be signing that before you hire an attorney. Second, you want to avoid talking about your lawsuit to other people. In lawsuits, there's something called discovery, and that means that the other attorneys get to find out what you said to everybody, and they get to bring those other people in and talk to them about what you told them or what they said to you. A lot of times they'll try to take these statements from other people out of context, or they'll try to twist them up to make it sound like you told them something that you didn't, and that somehow it relates to your injuries or how the accident happened. To avoid all of those complications, it's best not to talk to anybody. If they ask you about your lawsuit, just say, hey, look, my lawyer said I can't talk about it, and leave it at that. Next, you want to make sure that you avoid engaging in social media after the accident. A lot of times people are on social media and they want to make sure that they're talking to everybody, they're keeping up their social network. However, this can be very detrimental to your lawsuit. Insurance companies scour the internet to make sure that they find everything that you're posting, all the pictures, all the comments, everything you post. And if you post something that's maybe out of line with your injury, or maybe something that can be taken out of context, they're going to find out about it and they're going to try to use it against you. So it's best to avoid doing that, just to make sure you don't have a problem. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're not lying, or that you're not diminishing your pre-existing conditions too much. A lot of times when people will get into a deposition, they won't tell their attorneys about any accidents or any medical pre-existing conditions that they had before this current accident. And what it ends up doing is making it look like you have something to hide, that you're not trying to tell the truth, and it'll look bad to the insurance company, it'll look bad to the judge, it could look bad to the jury. You want to be upfront with your lawyers about your injuries so that your lawyers can present your injuries in the best way possible and let everyone know that those previous injuries have nothing to do with this most recent accident. You also want to make sure that you attend all your medical appointments. A lot of people think that it doesn't matter if they blow off an appointment here or there, that they'll get the treatment later, that it doesn't affect them, but it's all wrong. Going to your medical appointments is very important. It documents your injuries, it lets the insurance company know that your injuries are real, that they're severe, and that you need treatment for them. A lot of times people think, well, my injury's my injury, it doesn't matter if I treat. Well, it does matter, because they're not trying to take your word for it, they want to take your doctor's words for it. And if you don't go see the doctor, there's nothing there for them to look at. This is objective evidence that insurance companies look for, and actually the jury's going to look for it too if your case ever goes to a trial, to see whether you actually needed treatment for those injuries. And last, you want to make sure that you document your injuries with photographs. After the accident, if you don't have a photograph, it can be very hard to tell what exactly your accident was and how it looked and what it did. Photographs are very powerful evidence. 3, 4, 5 months, or even 2 or 3 years down the road, it's easy for people to forget what exactly their injury was like. A photograph brings that right back into everyone's mind, into the judge, the jury, and the insurance company. And if you have that evidence, it's going to be very helpful for you. So you want to make sure you avoid failing to do that. So in total, make sure that you go over with your attorney all of these things. Make sure that you are doing the right things, that you're not making any mistakes. The best policy is to get an attorney so that you can actually figure these things out, because there are 6 mistakes here, but there's plenty more that you can make. So the best thing to do is hire a lawyer and make sure that you're doing everything right.